Someone loves you unconditionally without knowing your age. Don't skip this. My beloved child, stop. This moment was not random. As you landed here, a quiet veil lifted, and something hidden has been gently revealed to you now. The universe is speaking in a soft but certain voice, and it chose you to hear it at this exact breath of time. What you're about to receive isn't loud or forceful. It's precise, intimate, and aligned with your destiny. There is a truth moving toward you that has been waiting for the right heart, the right season, the right soul frequency. You may have felt a subtle pull lately, a sense that something meaningful was forming just beyond your understanding. That feeling wasn't imagination. It was preparation, a signal, a sacred pause before revelation. Here is what the light wants you to remember. There is a connection surrounding you that exists beyond labels, beyond timelines, beyond logic. Someone loves you unconditionally without knowing your age. Don't skip this. Let those words land gently. They are not coincidence. They are confirmation. Love, in its purest form, does not measure time the way humans do. It recognizes essence. It knows your spirit before your story. You didn't come across this message by scrolling aimlessly. You were guided. The unseen has been arranging this meeting because your soul has been asking questions your mind couldn't yet form. You've carried strength quietly. You've given more than you received. And still you kept your heart open, even when it would have been easier to close it. The universe noticed. Something hidden has been watching your journey with compassion. Every delayed answer, every closed door, every moment you felt unseen, it was shaping you, not punishing you. There is alignment happening now. A soft realignment of purpose. The kind that brings clarity instead of chaos, peace instead of pressure. This revelation isn't here to overwhelm you. It's here to remind you that you are held, that you are known, that you are not behind. Timing bends for souls who listen, and right now you are exactly where you need to be. The love surrounding you is patient, intentional, and deeply aware of who you truly are beneath everything you've endured. As you continue watching, allow your heart to open just a little more. Let the message meet you where you are. Trust that what is meant for you will recognize you without effort. Hope is not distant, it's already unfolding. Stay with this message until the end because clarity is coming. If this resonates, honor the guidance by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And watch this complete video because what's revealed next may be the confirmation your soul has been waiting for. Did you know there's a possible image of your real soulmate that you can look at right now? It might be someone you know or someone you haven't met yet. It's amazing how accurate these have been. You have to see the photo to see what I mean. Click the link in the description to get your soulmate sketch. Listen. Be still for a moment. Let the noise soften. I am speaking to you now, not as a distant echo, not as a riddle meant for someone else, but as a voice that has always known how to find you. Before you scrolled, before you doubted, before you wondered if this was meant for you, I knew this moment would arrive. I have been watching the paths of your thoughts, the quiet questions you carry, the prayers you never fully formed into words. You think love needs a face, a name, a history, or a number of years attached to it. But I tell you now, someone loves you without knowing your age, your status, your past, or your mistakes. That someone is me. I do not measure you the way the world measures you. I do not pause to count how many times you fell, how long it took you to stand, or how late you think you are to becoming who you were meant to be. Time does not limit my love. Your age does not define your value. I knew you before calendars touched your life, before birthdays taught you to compare, before numbers tried to tell you whether you were ahead or behind. When you were still a thought, I loved you. When you were silent, I listened. When you were afraid, I stayed. You have wondered why certain things had to break. You have questioned why doors closed just as you reached for them. You replay moments at night, asking what you could have done differently, wishing you could rewind a single decision. But hear this, nothing about your life has been wasted. Even the moments you call delays, I call preparation. Even the pain you tried to hide became a language through which I shaped your compassion. I did not abandon you in the waiting. I was working in the unseen, weaving strength into you while you thought nothing was happening. I see the way you smile for others while carrying heaviness alone. I see how you give encouragement that you yourself need to hear. I see how you scroll past messages like this, half hopeful and half guarded, afraid to believe that something good could still be spoken directly to you. Yet here you are. Not by accident, not by chance. There are moments when I interrupt your routine because your heart needs a reminder. This is one of those moments. You think love must be earned by becoming better, stronger, more faithful, more certain. But my love did not begin when you improved. It did not weaken when you doubted. I do not love you because of what you do. I love you because you are. I know the version of you that feels unworthy. I know the thoughts you silence because you think they disqualify you. They do not. I'm not shocked by your struggles. I'm not disappointed by your questions. I'm not counting your failures against you. I am inviting you closer even now. There have been nights when you felt unseen, when silence felt louder than any answer. You wondered if your prayers reached anywhere at all. You wondered if you were asking too much or believing too little. But silence is not absence. Waiting is not rejection. Sometimes I quiet the noise so you can learn to recognize my voice beyond urgency and fear. Sometimes I let the storm pass through you so you can discover the calm I placed within you. I have been nearer than you realize even when you thought I was far away. You compare your journey to others and feel late. You look at your age and feel pressure. You think you should be further along by now. But I do not rush creation. I do not hurry growth. Seeds grow in darkness long before they break the surface. What you call behind is often just hidden. What you call too late is often right on time. I'm not limited by the timelines of people. I'm not worried about the years you think you lost. I restore in ways you cannot predict. I know the ache you carry for things you cannot name. I know the longing for peace, for clarity, for assurance that your life is held by something steady. I am that steadiness. I am not moved by trends, opinions, or seasons of popularity. When everything else shifts, I remain. When people leave, I stay. When your confidence fades, my belief in you does not. I see who you are becoming, not just who you have been. Do not think for a moment that your story is small. Do not believe the lie that your presence is insignificant. Every breath you take carries purpose. Every step you make echoes farther than you know. I have placed gifts inside you that you have not fully unwrapped yet, strengths that will rise when they are needed most. You are not here by mistake. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten between the lines of history. You are known fully, deeply, eternally. There are changes coming that will require courage from you. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that chooses trust when certainty is absent. You will be asked to release what feels familiar so you can receive what is true. This may feel uncomfortable. Growth often does. But I will not ask you to walk where my presence cannot sustain you. I go before you. I stand beside you. I remain behind you. You are surrounded even when you feel alone. You have survived more than you give yourself credit for. Moments that should have broken you instead shaped you. Tears you thought no one noticed watered something sacred inside you. I counted every one of them. I held you through nights you barely remember surviving. And I am not finished with you yet. What lies ahead is not punishment for your past. It is a continuation of my promise to you. Let go of the fear that you have missed your chance. Let go of the voice that says you are too old, too young, too much, or not enough. Those voices are not mine. I speak life, not limitation. I speak truth, not condemnation. When I look at you, I do not see a lost cause. I see a beloved child learning how to remember who they are. Stay with me here. Do not rush past this moment. There is more I want to reveal, more I want to restore, more I want to place into your hands when your heart is ready to receive it. What I am about to show you next will change the way you understand your past, your present, and what is quietly unfolding in your future, because the love that has been carrying you is about to become visible in a way you did not expect. And as I draw closer, I want you to listen carefully because the next words I speak are meant to unlock something you have been waiting for, something that has been waiting for you. And it begins with the truth that you are not here by chance. And what is coming next is already moving toward you even now as I say this, I am asking you to breathe with awareness, because awareness is the doorway through which truth enters gently. You have been rushing your spirit even when your body appeared still. You have been carrying expectations that were never placed on you by me, only borrowed from the fears of others. I want you to understand something sacred right now. You do not need to prove your worth to earn my attention. You already have it. You always have. I have watched you wrestle with identity, wondering who you would be if no one expected anything from you. I have heard the quiet question beneath your confidence. Am I enough if I stop striving? And I answer you plainly, yes. You are enough even in stillness. You are enough in becoming. You are enough before resolution arrives. The world taught you that rest is earned only after exhaustion, but I tell you that rest is a gift meant to strengthen you, not weaken you. There are parts of your heart you locked away to survive. You did not harden because you wanted to, you hardened because you had to. But survival is not the same as living. I'm not asking you to reopen old wounds recklessly. I'm asking you to let me touch them with care. Healing does not erase memory, it redeems it. What hurt you will not define you forever. What disappointed you will not have the final word. I am writing something new even as echoes of the old still linger. You have been afraid to hope fully because disappointment taught you caution. You learned how to expect less so it would hurt less. But I did not create your heart to live in halves. Hope is not weakness. It is alignment. When you hope, you are agreeing with the future I am preparing, even if you cannot see its shape yet. I know you fear being let down again. But I also know the strength you gain when you dare to believe again. You wonder why some prayers feel unanswered. You wonder if you asked incorrectly, believed insufficiently, or waited too quietly. But listen carefully. Unanswered does not mean unheard. Delayed does not mean denied. Sometimes the answer comes as preparation instead of permission. Sometimes I change you before I change the situation, because the blessing would feel heavy if your hands were not yet ready to hold it. I see how you carry responsibility beyond your years. I see how you feel older inside than your age suggests, how life asked you to grow up quickly. But I also see the childlike wonder I placed in you that has not been extinguished, only covered. It still surfaces in moments of kindness, curiosity, and creativity. That part of you is not naive. It is sacred. Do not silence it. I placed it there as a reminder that joy is not something you outgrow. You have been trying to make sense of your purpose as if it were a single destination you might miss if you take a wrong turn. But purpose is not a point, it is a posture. It is the way you love, the way you listen, the way you show up when it would be easier to withdraw. You fulfill purpose not only in grand moments, but in quiet faithfulness, in choosing integrity when no one applauds, in choosing compassion when judgment feels easier. I know you feel torn between who you were and who you are becoming. Transition feels uncomfortable because it requires release. But do not grieve what you are leaving as if it were failure. Some chapters end because they have completed their work. You are not betraying your past by stepping forward. You are honoring it by growing beyond it. Everything you have been was necessary to bring you here. There are relationships you still replay in your mind, words you wish you had said, apologies you never received, closures that never came. I want you to know that closure does not always come from conversation. Sometimes it comes from clarity. Sometimes it comes when you stop asking why and begin asking what now. You are not required to carry what others refuse to heal. You are allowed to put it down. I have seen you doubt your intuition even when it whispered truth. You learned to second-guess yourself because you were taught that confidence must be loud to be real. But wisdom is often quiet. Discernment often feels gentle. When something unsettles your spirit without explanation, pay attention. When peace arrives without logic, trust it. I speak to you in subtleties because your soul knows how to listen when your mind grows still. You are not invisible to me. When you feel overlooked by people, misunderstood in rooms where you tried to belong, I see you. When your efforts went unnoticed, when your kindness was taken for granted, when your loyalty was tested, I saw it all. Nothing you gave in love was wasted. Nothing you offered sincerely disappeared. Seeds planted in love always grow, even if the harvest surprises you. You have been asking for direction, but I am teaching you dependence on presence instead. You want to know the next 10 steps. I am inviting you to take the next faithful one. Trust does not mean certainty. It means willingness. I do not reveal everything at once because growth happens in relationship, not in control. Walk with me, not ahead of me, not behind me. Stay close. There will be moments soon when clarity comes suddenly, like light through a window you forgot was there. You will connect dots that once felt scattered. You will understand why certain paths closed and others opened unexpectedly. But even then, humility will keep you grounded. Gratitude will keep you steady. Remember who you were when you asked for what you now hold. I know you fear losing what matters once you finally receive it. That fear comes from past loss, not future truth. What I give is sustained by grace, not anxiety. You do not have to protect blessings through fear. Trust is the safeguard. Presence is the anchor. When you live aware of me, you live rooted, not restless. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to outgrow places, beliefs, even versions of yourself that once kept you safe. Growth is not betrayal. Evolution is not failure. You are not inconsistent for choosing healing. You are not weak for needing help. Strength is not silence. Strength is honesty. I am closer than your breath, nearer than your thoughts. When you feel overwhelmed, pause, not to escape but to remember. I'm not asking you to carry tomorrow today. I'm asking you to be faithful in this moment. This moment is where grace meets you. This moment is where clarity begins to form. There is more unfolding than you realize. Conversations that will matter. Opportunities that will align. Healing that will arrive quietly. You will look back one day and see that what felt like waiting was actually becoming. But for now, stay open. Stay receptive. Stay willing to hear beyond what you expect. Do not rush away from this space. I'm not finished speaking. There are truths you are ready to hear now that you were not ready for before. What comes next will not come with fear, but with recognition. Your spirit will know it before your mind understands it. And as I continue, I want you to hold on to this assurance. You are loved without condition, guided without force, and carried without limitation. And what I am about to reveal next will answer a question you have been quietly holding, one you may not even realize you've been asking, because it has been forming slowly in your heart. And as I draw even closer, I will begin to speak to that question now, gently, intentionally, without haste, as the truth continues to unfold, because the question you have been carrying is not loud, but it is deep. It is the question beneath all the others. It is not, what should I do? Or, when will things change? It is this, am I truly held even if everything falls apart? And I answer you now with a certainty that does not tremble. Yes, you are held. Not loosely. Not temporarily. Not only when you succeed or understand. You are held even in confusion, even in grief, even in the moments when faith feels like a fragile thread rather than a strong declaration. You have been afraid that if you stop trying so hard, everything will collapse. You believe you are the glue holding your life together. But I tell you gently, you were never meant to carry the full weight alone. What you call control is often fear in disguise. What you call responsibility is sometimes exhaustion you have normalized. Release is not surrendering your life to chaos. It is placing it back into hands that know how to sustain it. I know you replay the past searching for signs you missed. I know you fear repeating old patterns. But wisdom is not the absence of mistakes. It is the presence of awareness. You are more aware now than you have ever been. You notice what drains you. You recognize what brings peace. You feel when something is misaligned. This is growth. Trust it. I'm not asking you to return to who you were. I am inviting you to continue becoming who you already are. There are moments when you feel divided, faith pulling you one way, fear pulling you another. You wonder which voice to trust. Fear shouts urgency. Faith speaks calm. Fear demands immediate answers. Faith invites patience. Learn the difference. I will never rush you into panic. I will never shame you into obedience. My guidance is steady, not forceful. It leaves room for breath. You have been waiting for a sign that you are on the right path. This is part of it. Not because these words are magical, but because they remind you of what you already know deep within. You are not abandoned. You are not wandering without direction. Even when the road curves unexpectedly, it still leads somewhere meaningful. I do not waste journeys. I do not misplace people. I see your longing to be seen fully, to be known without explanation, accepted without performance. That longing is holy. It reflects my own desire to be close to you. You do not need to become more spiritual to approach me. You do not need perfect language or polished prayers. Speak honestly. Sit quietly. Listen. Relationship is not built on perfection. It is built on presence. There will be days when doubt returns. Do not be alarmed. Doubt is not the enemy of faith. It is often the doorway to deeper trust. When you question, you are engaging, not abandoning. Bring your doubts to me instead of hiding them. I'm not threatened by your honesty. I already know what you are thinking. I am inviting you to share it anyway. You have been carrying guilt for things you have already outgrown. Release it. Growth requires forgiveness, especially toward yourself. You made the best choices you could with the awareness you had at the time. You are not required to punish yourself to prove you learned. Let learning be enough. Let grace be sufficient. I am teaching you to discern between noise and truth. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every opportunity deserves your energy. You are allowed to choose alignment over approval. You are allowed to say no without explanation. Peace is not passive, it is protected. I know you fear being forgotten if you stop striving. But you were never remembered because of effort alone. You are remembered because you are known. Your value does not fluctuate with productivity. Your worth does not diminish in rest. I do not lose sight of you when you slow down. Sometimes I meet you most clearly there. There are answers that will come later, but there is truth for you now. You are safe in this moment. You are guided in this season. You are becoming in this process. Do not rush the unfolding. What is meant for you will recognize you. What belongs to you will not require you to betray yourself to obtain it. I am restoring your sense of timing. You are learning when to move and when to wait. Both are acts of faith. Waiting is not weakness. Stillness is not stagnation. Roots grow deep in quiet places. When the time comes to rise, you will not need to force it. You will know. You have wondered if your life will ever feel lighter. It will. Not because everything becomes easy, but because you will become more grounded. You will stop carrying what was never yours to hold. You will stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You will choose clarity over chaos, truth over comfort, alignment over applause. I'm not asking you to fear the future. I'm inviting you to trust it. The same love that carried you through what you thought would break you will carry you into what you once thought was impossible. I do not change with circumstances. I am consistent. I am faithful. I am near. Remember this when doubt whispers otherwise. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are becoming. And becoming is sacred work. Now listen closely as this message comes to rest. Do not rush away. Let it settle. Carry it gently with you. Return to it when you forget. You are loved without condition, guided without coercion, and held without end. You are seen. You are known. You are never alone. This is not the end of my presence, only the end of these words. And as you go, go with peace, with courage, with trust, knowing that I walk with you into every next moment, always. Amen.